What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Corey, and today's project is a late 90s Honda 300EX. We actually picked this guy up for 900 bucks, and the previous owner said that it won't start, it won't run, and he's not sure what's wrong with it. As you can tell, it's in pretty rough shape. Plastics are loose and broken, and it looks like it's going to need quite a bit of work. So our goal today is to dig into this thing, get it up and running, and hopefully take it on the first ride. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned and we'll hop right into it. So jumping right into the video, first thing we want to do is we're going to remove these back plastics, and we're going to try to troubleshoot this a little bit, see if we've got any power, see if it turns over at all, and kind of go from there. So let's do that first. So we got our plastics off here, just inspecting everything a little bit further. It looks like we do have a battery. We've got a air filter, doesn't look too bad. It is missing the cover for the air box here, and it looks like we're missing the tube that goes to the carb there. That appears to be a Chinese carb. The previous owner told me that he swapped it out. So we do know that's not the original. And we do have some parts over here. This is a plastic piece that goes on the gas tank. There's our tube. So we do have that. And we do have the original carb too. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna go through that or not yet. We'll see how that Chinese carb does first, just to get it up and running. And then I went ahead and ordered a airbox lid as well. So we've got all the parts that we need. But let's go ahead and see if we've got power here. So we'll turn on our key there. As you can tell, neutral light came on. And see if our headlight works here. Oh yeah, nice LED headlight. That's working good. Brake light does not appear to be there. Looks like it was cut and it's removed here. Let's see if it'll turn over at all. Hit the start button. All right, so it doesn't appear to do anything. I'm not hearing any clicking or anything either. So I'm not sure if that solenoid is bad or not. Let's use our tool to check to see if this solenoid is actually getting power when we hit the start button. And then we'll kind of go from there. All right, we're gonna check to see if our solenoid is getting power. Before we do that, one cool tool that I recently acquired is this little indicator. You can use it to test if something has power. This probe here lights up, and it also indicates the voltage that's going through to show you if you've got 12 or 6 volts. Make sure you're getting the right amount of power. So it's a really nifty tool. It's a lot easier than using a multimeter sometimes. So I like having this on hand. It's maybe like 10 bucks. I'll put that in the description if you guys are interested and want to pick one up, but I'll show you how it works. So I'm gonna hook it up to positive here, or excuse me, I'll hook it to negative here on the battery. And when I hit it to positive, this will light up like that, and it'll show you I've got 12.3 volts. So it's just a quick little way to do it instead of having your 2 probes on a multimeter and having to look at the screen. I kind of like it, but let's go ahead and test out our solenoid here and see if we're getting anything when we press the start button. So let's see. Okay, so right there is our positive to the solenoid. As you can tell, we are getting 12.3 volts to the actual solenoid itself, which is a good sign. So what our problem is we probably have a bad solenoid and it's not crossing the bridge to get it started. So thankfully I've got a spare one over there. We're gonna swap it out real quick and hopefully that'll fix our starting problem. All right, so here is our replacement solenoid. I don't think it's going to be a direct replacement because this has a connector on the end of it, and it looks like they have cut the wires previously, but the actual solenoid itself appears to be the same. What we're going to do is we're going to swap these out. We're going to wire this in, hook it up, and then we should be good to go. So let's swap this out real quick. So before I go touching the solenoid, first thing I'm going to do is remove this positive terminal so I don't shock myself. And now we'll go ahead and remove this solenoid. Okay, so we got the old solenoid pulled out of there. We need to cut these lines, and then we need to hook up or wire in the new ones. It's not the exact same color, but it'll operate the same way. It's not a big deal. So we'll just cut it right here and wire in our new component. All right, so we got these two sides ready. Let's go ahead and cut the wires on our new solenoid, and we'll attach those in now too. There we go. All right, so our battery is hooked back up. We've got our solenoid connected now. Let's see again if we're getting power. All right, so we're getting 12.2 volts. Now let's test our start button here. Perfect. So that was our issue. Now let's see if it'll start up for us at all. So as you can tell, it does start up. It does run, but it won't stay idling. I definitely think that's because either our carb is junk, but also because we don't have our air box hooked up. It needs that back pressure to richen the fuel into the system. So I'm gonna heat these wires up where we hooked them up on this shrink wrap here, and then we're gonna maybe connect the air box and everything and see if this thing will run and idle. And if that's the case, then this may have been a real simple fix. But let's take a look at those things and we'll see what happens. So we got our airbox tube connected there. We got our new aftermarket air lid put on there. It's not an exact match, but hopefully it'll get the job done. But let's try to fire this thing up again and see if it'll idle this time with that extra back pressure. It definitely wants to. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and have to pull that carb off. I may just go ahead and clean the original one since that one's a lot better anyhow. But let's go ahead and let's tear into that original carb. I'll get this one popped off, and then we'll see if she'll run after that. We finally got the old one out of there. Let's hop on over to the bench and we'll dig into the original carb and get that cleaned up. All right, so we got both carbs here on the bench. This is the Chinese and this is the original Kian carb. And as you can tell, it's not too bad. The jets are probably clogged and they just took it off, didn't know how to clean it, so they bought a cheap one. But it might have been leaking too. It looks like this bowl screw is missing. They just zip tied it, which FYI, that's not how you fix that. So we're gonna dig into this one now, get it cleaned up a little bit, and hopefully throw it right back on the bike and get it fired up. So let's clean this and see how it turns out. Actually, I lied. That is not a screw for the bowl there. It's actually just holding on the idle screw. But, yeah, I guess that's not as bad. But still want to use screws and not zip ties on the carb. So there's the inside of our bowl there. It doesn't look bad. We'll spray it down with carb cleaner. Float and everything looks okay. Like I said, these jets are probably clogged, so we'll clean those up real quick. And besides that, I don't think it really looks bad. So let's do that real fast. Take a look at this main jet and pilot jet here. It's hard to tell what size that is. It's pretty dirty. I can't tell if that says 122 or I think that's what it says. It's 122. I'll have to verify that, but that should be the stock size. And That pilot jet seems to be clear on the inside, so I'm not sure why they would have put a Chinese carb on there. I'm not sure, but that pilot jet seems to be pretty clean. Float and needle seems to be okay. Probably can reuse that. If not, we can pull it out of the Chinese one there. But yeah, overall, I'm not really seeing anything too crazy. I'm going to spray it out with some carb cleaner real quick, get these passages, make sure they're cleaned up. We'll put it back together, and then when I come back, we'll reinstall it back on the bike and see if she'll run the way she's supposed to. So here we go. We got our original carb thrown back on there. I went ahead and I replaced the float bowl gasket. I pulled the one from the Chinese carb and threw it on this one. We got this one put back in here. We're going to go ahead and install our gas tank again, get gas to this thing, and when we come back, we'll fire it up and see how she runs with the original carb. Okay, so we got our gas tank put back on. We got our plastics put back on. We're ready to fire this thing back up with the original carb, and we'll see how it runs now. So it is idling, but we need to turn that idle down a little bit, I think. sounds a lot better. So it's idling now, so we know that Chinese carb was the issue. Let's go ahead and get our other plastics on, and we'll take this thing for a drive and see how she does.
Running pretty good. I can't complain. I'm gonna set up the tripod and let you guys see what it looks like when I'm riding it. I think I got a little too much on that one. Woo. Well guys, besides me just breaking my tailbone there, I mean, this thing runs really good. We may have to play with that idle a little bit more now that it's warmed up. It seems like it's revving up a little high there, and the overflow looks like it's leaking a little. Now that could have been due to the fact I just fell on my back basically, but yeah, besides that, I mean, this thing runs really good. For 900 bucks, I can't complain. We got it knocked out and finished in a afternoon. It's pretty solid. I mean, it's not the prettiest looking thing, but for 900 bucks, I think we can flip a easy profit. I can have a good time on it here, riding around the property. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I've definitely got more content coming soon. And if you guys have any recommendations about this video or future projects, let me know in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.